2,661. That's how many children were victims to child abuse last year right here in the Rio Grande Valley. But how do officers mentally handle the situation after a case is closed? CBS 4's Freddie Vela has more on that.
We're not out there to fail any kids, especially the victims.
A strong stance taken by officers and agents across the Rio Grande Valley.
We're all created equal, but we're not given equal lives. And some kids are born and have everything, which I'm talking about love and comforts and food, and some don't.
Local law enforcement gathered at the McAllen Convention Center for the 3rd annual Joining Forces Conference, an event to discuss and share best practices in dealing with child abuse cases.
It might not be my case, but I sure am going to go back to my investigators and say, Sheriff's Office had this incident, this is the way they handled it. Well, I didn't realize we had those resources, and we learned.
According to the Texas Department of Family and Protection Services, in 2016, the number of completed investigations involving children in the valley dropped to 8,532, compared to 2015, where over 10,000 cases were completed. Still a high number.
There's a lot of struggles related to this job that people don't see. It's not all shootouts and fights, and I think it's the human element that, if we're not careful, can destroy us.
The conference also touched on how officers deal with the cases after they walk away from the situation.
Us in law enforcement, we experience a lot of things, we see a lot of things. And once you hear other colleagues talking about those experiences, it lets you know what? You're not alone, and there's other people that go through it, and it gives you the ability and the ease to talk about it.
There's a much greater understanding when someone tells you about their struggles and they're an officer and they're telling another officer, because they usually won't tell anyone else.
Yet it's still a struggle they see firsthand every day. In McAllen, Freddie Vela, CBS 4 News and ValleyCentral.com.
The two-day event wrapped up just moments ago. Law enforcement we talked to say they are hopeful the number of child abuse cases will drop, but it all starts with educating families.